Now let's continue with our election coverage. Seamus Sheridan is going for the Green Party here in Galway. He's the Green Party spokesperson on agriculture, food and the marine, and he sits opposite me. Seamus, good morning to you.
Good morning, Keith.
Thanks for joining us today. How is your campaign going?
It's going very good. I've been very busy over Christmas with work, so we really got stuck in about 10 days ago, and we started, and the reception's great. We're having fun.
You're having fun. You look as if you're enjoying it as well. I mean, can the Green Party make a comeback? I mean, you were absolutely decimated in the last elections. Can they really make a comeback?
Yes, I mean, we're the biggest party across Europe, so we're still there.
How do you mean the biggest party across Europe?
Well, you know, if you look at one single party across Europe, we're the biggest political movement in Europe. Okay, you could jump Labour into the left-wing parties.
Yeah, but how many members would you...
We will have one or two TDs in the Dáil.
You will have...
We will.
Will you be one of those people?
Of course I will, Keith. There's a few coming in Dublin. And
I love your optimism, so I do. Sorry, go on, yeah.
Well, you have to be positive.
Yeah, sorry, there's a few you think in Dublin?
Yeah, there's definitely a few in Dublin. And then as a political party, it's very important that we do well across the country to get our funding back in. So there's two reasons for running. One is to get first preference votes across the country, because we slipped below the threshold to get party funding last time, which was difficult, you know, for a political party. And then the second reason is to get people into the Dáil.
So if it's a thing that you don't get one or two, will the Green Party in its current guise be disbanded?
No, absolutely not.
But without political representation, I mean, what good is the Green Party to this country?
I think you need political movements, whether it be on the left or the right or the Green
But those
Party.
political movements...
No, I said, you asked the question. I said you need to have a good democracy. Should have think tanks on the left, they should have think tanks on the right, they should have political movements. And part of that balance that we need in Ireland, yes, you do need a Green Party, and there will always be members for the Green Party. There's a very large membership across the country.
How many councillors have you got across the country now?
Well, you've got me on that one, Keith. I would say about 15.
15.
Yeah.
But I mean, for the Green Party to be effective, you need to be in some house of power, be it a council, be it the House of the Oireachtas,
yeah, I mean, they're very strong.
They're
controlling the Dublin City Council. We have a controlling interest there. And we've got very strong representatives in Dún Laoghaire, Rathdown. So there are some councils where the Green Party are, so if you want to call these, in power.
Okay, why did the Green Party bottom out so quickly, do you think?
Oh, it was just, it was the mood after the nightmare of 2007, 2011.
Was it the leadership? Was it Eamon Ryan at the time? He wasn't.
Well, Eamon Ryan wasn't leader, it was John Gormley.
John Gormley, then Eamon Ryan. But I mean, they were in government. I mean,
yes, I mean, it would have been better if they didn't go in, obviously. It would have been better if they pulled in October rather than that January. But I do know for the previous 2 or 3 years, there was a consensus within that they should stay there. There was approaches made to Finnegan and Labour. They said they didn't want to, join in some form of consensus national government. So I think they did do the state some service by staying in for those 3 years, particularly.
They did the state some service, but they didn't do the party anything.
No. They knew they were facing it into. They knew they were facing into oblivion. The TDs there, and I kind of admire them for that. It's a little bit of admiration there. Okay,
can I ask you about the canvass then in Galway? We're looking at the national picture there, but the canvass in Galway, what type of reaction are you getting?
Well, I'm very well known in Galway. I mean that in a nice way. So, a lot of people are meeting at the doors, say, of course we'll vote for you, Seamus. Yeah. But I'm sure they say that to everybody. But I have a lot of, so the reaction though is very, very positive.
Now you got 8% in the local elections.
Correct.
So, I mean, are you hoping that 8% will transfer? And
if I got 8%, I'd be in the Dáil, wouldn't I?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I'm just wondering, have you done the maths on this?
I'll poll very well in the city. I'll poll very well out in areas like Clifton and Tullycross, Renville, Moycullen, Uachtarard. So, yeah, I have a big support base out there.
So you're confident?
I will be playing the second half of this match, I would imagine.
What does that mean, though?
Well, I won't be gone in the first half.
Okay. So you think you'll be in the final shake-up?
I'll be in the final shake-up. I might be getting a pass, or I might be giving somebody else a pass for the winning point. Who knows?
What are you getting on the streets as a Green Party candidate, Seamus Sheridan? What type of topics are people bringing up with you?
I think I get a sense that people want, in one hand, they want stability, and in the other hand, they're not happy with having to vote for stability because they don't like who they're voting for. So I get that sense. I can find we need this. People are very aware of the disproportionate of success throughout the economy. And that's not just an Irish problem, it's a global problem. So, that 1% are getting richer and richer. If you look at the mean wages we have in Ireland in the private sector, it's actually coming down when you compare it to the rest of Europe. So while we are attracting inward investment, which is brilliant and fair play to the last government, I do get a sense that there's not a party out there that's representing small business, they're representing corporate business. So they're bending over backwards for corporates to come in here, and that's great. We get 1,000 jobs or 300 jobs.
The local indigenous
correct. And I think,
not getting.
Yeah, if you want a robust and resilient economy in Galway and throughout Ireland, you need to be fostering that side of the economy. I mean, Galway, like we're in Galway Bay FM, believe me, we are lucky in Galway compared to the other cities in Ireland when we look at our tourism and look at some of the indigenous jobs we have here, whether in the bars, in the restaurants.
Yeah,
if you look at Sligo, Waterford, it is very, very tough down there. And outside the cities, and it's not very much a Galway question, but something I'm very passionate about, is how are we going to regenerate the urban towns? Our towns that we know, like Portumna, Headford, Ballinasloe, that's a huge challenge for the next government. How do we create that rural economy again? And it's going to take an awful lot of work, but we have to work at that level. We have to balance attracting the big companies in, but we have to balance that with providing a sense of place and jobs throughout the country.
Okay, just coming back then to your own campaign. I mean, you said you'll do well in the city. If you were to be elected, who would you be displacing?
I mean, you're asking for look, who knows, Keith?
You have
tell
to
me.
have this thought out.
Obviously, there's one Fine Gael. There might be two, but if there's one Fine Gael, it's funny, we don't know which one it could be. I know that John O'Mahony is a great man. You know what I mean? So I know that my family I'm married into here in Galway, they'd be Fine Gael, you know. So Brian Walsh is gone, they would be looking north towards, you know, John O'Mahony, and they'd be on the east side of the city. You know, good Gaelic, thoroughbred there. O'Queeve is in. Noel is in.
He has to get voted.
Yeah, Noel everyone's saying Noel is getting in, but he's got Charity and a few other independents snapping at his heels. And Derek, I mean, I'm a dub, so what would I know? But I know that Derek will probably get some.
Here. We've adopted you now.
He will probably get some Brian Walsh votes because, you know, from that side of town. So I wouldn't write off Derek yet. Catherine is campaigning hard. And then Trevor and Sinn Féin. And then, of course, I mean, I don't know where my surplus is going to go after the first count. So, I mean, it could go anywhere, really. Could go anywhere.
So you'll top the poll?
Of course, yes.
Absolutely. Top the poll from there. Looking, if you weren't successful in this, which you are quite confident that you're going to be, would you look at going towards the Seanad?
Well, if I can't see any Greens getting appointed to the Seanad unless they 2 or 3 TDs or forming a government. I really believe the Seanad should have more independent voices there. I know political patronage is one thing, but I think if you're running for election, it is my opinion that you should be appointing people to the Seanad who are experts in their field. Goodness knows there won't be enough of them in the Dáil.
So you're saying that as a second house of the Oireachtas, that those appointed should be doing...
Yeah, I mean, there has been some good ones, like Catherine Saponi came in earlier on, you know, so there's been but like, it's just the only business person, Fergal Quinn, you know, is their only business person in there. It's hilarious. So you need a much broader balance, I think.
But would you consider even trying to go for election for the Seanad? Or have you thought that out yet?
No. Well, I've never been to college, so it kind of rules me out on the posh vote. So, and I don't think there's enough Green councillors around the country. Now, there might be a pact with one of the other parties to vote one thing. Yeah, so I'm not, you know, we'll see when the dust settles.
Would you allow your name to go forward for something like that?
The Seanad? It'd be lovely, wouldn't it? 80 grand a year. Oh, stop.
You don't do it for you.
No, would it be good? It would be good up there. I would say there's a lot better people than me that deserve to be in the Seanad, Keith. Yourself, for instance, now.
Yeah,
Great.
No, please, let me get out of here first
Finnegan.
off today. Can I ask you just finally, in relation to a vote...
Let's talk politics and let's talk policies instead of gossip. Come on,
policies then. You're looking at business and job creation, farming and food and health education, housing and planning, the Galway civic market, which you have put a huge amount of work into, and you're looking at salmon farming as well. Are they the keynote ones for you?
Well, the first one is economic development. So we could talk all day, but yes, I said earlier, to balance the work we're doing, the needed work to attract inward investment by creating our own local economy here. Housing, it's always seems to be polarised. The debate is on social housing, but there are lots of people out there. We need more social housing, but there are lots of couples out there who can't get a house. And what really, when I was canvassing for the local elections, what really struck me, I don't know the nice way to say this, but the absolute rubbish we built in this town the last 20 years in our city centre. You walk around and there's not one child living in and around the docks. Like, we have this beautiful city. I've got friends working with 2 or 3 kids. I have 2 or 3 kids. It wouldn't it be lovely if we could live in Galway in a nice apartment with 3 bedrooms and a garage on the ground floor? And are we going to build that in the future? No. We're going to go back to the same developer-led projects and based on rent roll in the future, and the citizens of Galway push them out to the suburbs. Okay. And so that's housing, but ask me some tough ones, Keith, come on.
Come on, some tough ones, yeah. Farming and food, we're kind of running out of time, but I mean, in relation to a vote for Seamus Sheridan, what is a vote for Seamus Sheridan of the Green Party if one casts their votes for you on the 26th?
Well, starting with social justice, equality, not just in Ireland, but a voice in the Dáil that will represent the less fortunate all around the world. If we're a small little country in the west of Europe, so it's starting internationally. On a national level, it's a job for business, it's a job for employment. On a social level, it's planning, proper housing, and of course education, which is something I've been working with, down through the decades, outside my business.
All right, listen, Seamus Sheridan, as always, entertaining, but we wish you well in the topping the poll on the 26th. But thank you, Dave, for joining us today. How is business, by the way, before I let you go?
Business was, last year, I think, was the first year that a lot of us were confident going into Christmas before the year-end accounts. It's been a tough 7 years for an awful lot of people out there, but let's hope that 2016 will, a little bit of improvement on 2015. We keep everybody employed.
Good.
Okay, Keith.
All right, thank you, Dee, for joining us. 12 minutes up, and thank you, Seamus Sheridan, for joining us today on the programme.